Just gonna shut the door. It's a gorgeous sunny day up here today, and I have already been for a cold plunge, which was amazing up at my friend's house. So today it's just going to be really slowing down and getting easier and gentler and softer in our own bodies. So the invitation is to take everything as feels good in your own body, listening deeply to the wisdom and intelligence within your own system, and allowing yourself to really drop down into this session. If it feels like you need to move around more or you're more activated, that's totally fine. You can do whatever you want in the privacy of your own home. Just going to share my partner here. It's a big white noodle named Squeaky Deaky, who is very interested in playing and laying around close by this morning. So I'm going to start laying on my back, and I'm using this foam roller, and I'm probably going to work through my calves a little bit with that. But that's not the point of this whole session. The point is really just to slow down and to come in for a landing in sensation in our own bodies. So let's just take a couple of big, deep breaths. Imagine that you're breathing out to the edges of your fingertips and toes on the inhale, and on the exhale, just releasing into the earth, letting your body drop down. Connecting to the planet. Imagining that you are cuddling with gravity, cuddling with the earth, nestling into the ground, or if you're seated, just nestling into your own body. And we feel our bodies through this relationship with gravity, right? If we move, part of our proprioception is about our relationship with the gravity, with the earth. Another part is the water in our bodies is helping us know we're moving. I mean, obviously we have these nerves routed out through our fascia, and that is a big proprioceptive feedback loop. So we're going to invite ourselves to come into the experience of being in your body. And if you find that thinking about your body is like a bunch of images, see if you can bring it down into sensations. Again, letting yourself nestle into the ground. And we're going to invite in any kind of micro movement that feels good. Sometimes when we just have a little bit of movement in an area, it's easier to connect that area into the body map of sensation. And let's hum today. Let's work with some humming. So the humming is going to extend the exhale. It's also going to do a lot of good things for us, down-regulate us, but also stimulate the production of nitric oxide, which has all sorts of wonderful things that it does. So the inhale is going to be easy. And on the exhale, you're just going to let out a or however long it feels good. You can imagine that humming is almost just spreading your tissue out like a pancake on a griddle, or something that's not going to cook itself. Maybe it's cold where you are and being cooked would be good. You're going to allow your tongue to kind of move around in a wave-like way. For me, if I do that, it creates my overtones that allow me to just deepen into my experience or bring my awareness really into that area of vibration. So we are vibrating. You're going to feel it a lot in your head probably, but think of tuning to sensation more than thought. Mm. Mm. Inviting your body to slow down, to release any tension that you're holding onto, and to soften. Soft, fluid, and easy. Maybe there's movement from the center to the edge in a core distal pattern. Maybe there's movement up and down the central channel, head, tail, river of the spine. Or maybe there's just stillness. Mm. Allowing yourself to rest in the what is and also in the as is. There's nothing that you need to fix. You can just soften and melt into this moment. Resting breaths whenever you want them. Any level of micro movement that feels good. And if you notice a pattern of movement or an energetic pattern coming up in your body, just see if you can slow it down a little bit, slowing and softening. You can allow little micro movements into your fingers and toes if that feels good, if it feels interesting and helpful. If it's happening anywhere else, that's totally fine. Allowing the floor or your bed or whatever's underneath you, your chair, to be a resource of support. So allowing yourself to lean into that support. If you feel like there's anything you're kind of holding up and away or grasping onto, allow it to melt and soften if that feels okay. Also allowing your face to free up. So if there are sort of tension patterns of holding your face as you, allow them to be soft and easy. And maybe there'll be little tiny micro facial movements when you really let go. And if your face has a chance to sort of readjust, there can be some little fluttering movements or small micro movements. Invite all of that online. Allowing the micro movement patterns to happen doesn't mean that you can't stop them again, right? It's not like suddenly you're going to let go of something and then it's all going to be, crazy and you won't be able to get it back in the box. You can always come back to stillness anytime. So inviting in really micro level releasing in your system if it feels okay. And maybe it's bigger, maybe it's macro level. Thinking of the bones becoming very heavy and dropping down into the earth and allowing the muscles, the fascia, the organs to soften towards the ground. And if you feel like you want more movement in this, you can gently sort of roll a little bit from side to side in any way that feels good, like a boat on an ocean gently rocking, not a wavy ocean, but just a gentle, light, easy, fluid rocking. Or it can be bigger than that, really listening into your own body. But if you want to come into more sense in your torso or more embodied sensation, you can rock gently and feel yourself spreading from one side to the other. or rolling, pouring your inner body from one side to the other. If that feels good. If not, just lay there and stay in whatever patterning is happening. And wherever you are, see if you can start to extend your exhale a little bit longer. And you may even want to hang out at the end of the exhale in that space before you inhale again. If that feels good, you don't have to, it's really up to you. Allowing, again, micro movement anywhere in your body. It can be in the river of the spine, imagining your nervous system suspended, your brain and your nervous system suspended in the cerebrospinal fluid, being nourished and detoxified, right? Cerebrospinal fluid, bringing nourishment and clearing away the waste, filtering through around your brain and your spinal cord 3 or 4 times a day. So letting yourself float inside your own body. You could also imagine that we're floating inside of our skin, right? So even as we're relaxing and melting into the floor, we're not just a puddle. We're still contained, but we can feel the surface area of that whole container, the surface area of our skin, really alive and vibrant and aware. Where parts of it are alive and vibrant and aware, allowing your awareness to sort of float around your body. And if you notice a tension pattern or a holding pattern that you can let go of, just gently let it go. And if you feel like you can't let it go, you could try counting to 3 and inviting it to disappear on the count of 3. Little magic inside your body. Inviting yourself to rest deeply within your sense of being. Resting within your awareness, resting within your body, resting within this moment. Maybe movement is happening, maybe it's not. Even if it feels like it's not happening, it is actually happening internally. Investing in your own health by just giving time to your body to slow down and to tune into that autonomic, parasympathetic rest and digest, soothe and settle, nourishing and nurturing your body by slowing down, giving yourself a chance to take a break. Nothing to do, nothing to force, just present, floating in your awareness, allowing anything that's arising to arise and move through you. So nothing's sticking and moving in. Everything's just moving through, like you're watching clouds move through the sky. And I am going to add music. So this will be Ambient Fields, Jeff Gersh's work. Allowing the sound to kind of resonate in your body, and maybe it inspires movement, or maybe it inspires more relaxation. Yeah, actually, I am now seated. Probably going to stay up for a few minutes before I get back down. Giving yourself a chance to come into yourself. You could imagine that you're inviting back all the threads of your energy that you may have furled out around into other ideas and ventures. Just invite back your energy to resource you with compassion, with kindness, non-judgmental. Giving yourself permission to move, make sounds, anything that feels good to you. Tuning into the pulse of being. Trying to force anything to let go. You're not trying to fix it all. You're just being with. If you find your mind gripping onto a story or a thought or idea, see if you can slow down and let that fall away. If you find that there's any shoulds or have-tos or, oh yeah, I gotta do that, just let that fall away for right now. Allowing your full presence to gather in this moment. also say we're tuning into the movement of just being. Effortless being. Letting go of the story of who you are, or what's happening in the world or your life, and just being present in the sensations of your body, in the space with your awareness. Being the angel leaning over your own blade of grass, whispering, grow, but not in an effortful grow, just a loving, kind grow. With the idea of growing, just being life force moving through you, nothing to do. It's an organic process. It's going to happen anyway. So allowing yourself to receive that love that's coming from your own angels that are, or whatever they are, energy forces, patterns, blood cells, anything. Just tuning into that aliveness, that vitality, and receiving the loving force, right? It's in your own heart. It's coming from the sun, it's coming from the earth, it's coming from the water. It's coming from the fire of being, the aliveness, the spark, the electricity of being a human on the planet in alignment. And if we let go of all of our have-tos and shoulds and all that, it's easier to feel that alignment, in tune with the movement of being. If you find yourself caught up in thinking, come into movement and try and just go slower and slower and slower. Keep bringing your awareness back to movement. It can be so tiny, but see if you can even slow it down. Maybe it's just slowing the exhale. Trusting that the next breath will come. The next moment is right here, and then here, and here. Here we are. Offering your weight to gravity, offering anything you're holding onto to the earth, just letting it go, letting it compost. Composting your worries, composting the things. Just turning that one down. I'm going to put a different song on because there's a lot of like weird sounds going on in my head, in my earbuds. So I'm just changing it. Always takes a minute to start. It's like 5 more minutes in here. Oh, it's not turned on. Let that fade out. Yeah, we've come to such a place of so much speed and activity and doing, with this idea of like this continual uh, growth. And I know I talked about growth, but let's not think about it in that way of moreness. Let's just think about it in the way of like turning towards health within our own system. So it's not like, oh, there's more to do. It's maybe there's less to do. Can I come into slower, easier, more relaxed relationship with myself?